Oh yeah, Harrison Ford, take a look at what I get every day whether I want it or not. And God love him, I swear to God, Harrison Ford has no idea who I am. America loved Regis Philbin for 30 years. But what they didn't know was happening behind the cameras. In 2023, sealed court documents revealed that ABC paid $275 million to silence 11 former employees. The money went through a secret shell company. Each person signed contracts worth up to $1 million to never speak about what really happened on set. One wardrobe assistant got $365,000 and lifetime health coverage. When 3 people finally broke their silence after Regis died, the truth was uglier than anyone imagined. This isn't the morning show you remember. On September 10, 1988, something unusual happened on American television. A small local program from WABC-TV in New York called The Morning Show suddenly appeared on nearly 200 stations across the country. It wasn't backed by ABC News, nor was it a major network push. Instead, it was a bold experiment that changed everything. The show was renamed Live with Regis and Kathy Lee and became the first time ABC allowed one of its own stations to syndicate a show nationally without using its news division. The move came after late 1987 strategy meetings revealed something surprising. Research showed the local version of the show was actually beating NBC's Today Show in its first half hour in New York, the biggest TV market in the country. Executives saw a chance to copy that success across the country. Because it came from the entertainment division and not the news department, the producers avoided costly union rules. They were able to make a full hour of live TV for less than half the cost of Good Morning America. It was a risky bet. Instead of using the national ad team, WABC had to sell the ads locally, meaning if it failed, it would hit their own budget hard. But the gamble worked. Just 6 weeks in, ratings among women aged 25 to 54 jumped 25%. Most of the new viewers came from CBS's week morning program. ABC had to rent more satellite time so stations out west could air the show at the right time without losing quality. What started as a local experiment turned into a nationwide shakeup of morning television. When WBC hired Regis Philbin to host the original version of the show in 1983, most people in the industry didn't expect much. He had hosted several national shows, but all of them were canceled after one season. He even had a short-lived talk show in San Diego that only lasted 4 months. At 51, he had no long-term contract and no regular income. So, when he accepted a local morning show with no connection to the network, many thought it was a quiet ending to his career. The station even put it at 9 a.m. to avoid direct competition with Today, trying to protect themselves from another flop. But things turned around fast. By May 1984, ratings in New York showed his show beating both Good Morning America and Donahue. That success earned him a new contract and took him off the list of permanent guest hosts. The local morning slot, which once seemed like a last chance, became the launchpad that finally gave him national fame. He went on to log more hours on air than anyone else in broadcast history. Kathy Lee Ford's path to co-hosting was just as unlikely. Back in 1979, she auditioned for Charlie's Angels and got rejected on the spot. The casting agent told her they were looking for someone gorgeous like Jacqueline Smith, basically telling her she wasn't good-looking enough for TV. In a 2024 interview, she said she was sick with fever that day, but laughed as she left the room. It was her first taste of how cruel Hollywood could be. When she later auditioned to join Regis in 1988 ABC, executives worried she was too cheerful for the show's tone. So they only gave her a 6-week trial when Cindy Garvey left. Producers even planned to rotate in other female guests until the ad buyers gave feedback. But something unexpected happened. Viewer mail spiked, and local ratings went up 12% in just her first month. The same people who had doubted her now had no choice but to lock in the partnership. That chemistry became iconic and changed morning television for a whole generation. Even the producers didn't see the magic coming. A notebook entry from summer 1988 shows they thought the pairing was temporary. They planned to revisit in 13 weeks. Ford had done Christian music specials. Philbin was grumpy and dry. Didn't seem like a match. Behind the scenes, they had even set up different lighting designs in case viewers complained about the look of the show. But their clashing personalities became the secret sauce. She would burst into song. He'd grumble back. The audience loved it. The host chat at the beginning of the show, which was supposed to last 8 minutes, kept running longer. But producers let it slide because ratings showed people didn't change the channel. What was meant to be temporary turned into one of the longest on-air duos in TV history. The show didn't just surprise people with its chemistry. It was built on a shockingly low budget. ABC's own records show that the set was built in a second-floor room meant for children's puppet shows. It cost less than $50,000. They reused props from old election sets and bought furniture from thrift stores. Over one weekend, the ceiling was so low, only 12 feet, that the lighting guy had to hang lights from office shelves instead of a proper rig. That saved another $18,000. They even borrowed graphics equipment from another show and swapped chips manually before going live at 9 a.m. For catering, they skipped in-house services and just sent interns to buy bagels down the street. Regis even joked on air that they survived on sage green walls and St. Viator carbs. Yet all of that DIY creativity led to a show that cost less for an entire week than today costs for a single episode. And it still beat them in ratings. On September 5, 1988, Buena Vista Television, Disney's syndication arm, launched the show. Nationally, it went from airing only in New York to appearing in 124 markets. Overnight, by the end of 1990, it was in more than 200 markets, reaching 98% of households. No daytime show had ever spread that fast without network support. Disney gave stations 5 out of 7 local ads and covered all promotion costs, which smaller stations usually had to pay themselves. They spent almost $12 million on marketing in the first 18 months, the kind of budget usually saved for big prime time shows. But it worked. By November 1980,